Hey learners, if you want to ace the first step of hacking, this session is for you. Our today's special trainer is Mr. Vishal Mohan. He is a perfect cybersecurity professional you'll ever meet. With 4+ years of experience in the industry, he has a lot of CDF experience. And also, he is the member of top 5 CTF teams in India. Hold on till the end for amazing tips and tricks. The most important and crucial step in hacking is enumeration or information gathering. This step is directly proportional to your success in hacking. Remember, amateurs hack systems, but professionals hack people. Ladies and gentlemen, we present you Mr. Vishal Mohan.
Thank you, Tushar. And I'd like to thank our UpgradeMore team for giving me this opportunity. I don't want to waste much time, so let's quickly dive into the session. So, these are the topics today we're going to cover. So, we'll be covering about enumeration, so enumeration tools and their usages, Google Documents, and Metasploit, how to use Metasploit to enumerate, and some stuff like practical stuff. So, what is enumeration? So enumeration is nothing but gathering information about the target. So the information is are about vulnerabilities or the weak points of the target, which helps us to exploit further. So which is the basic and initial step of exploitation or hacking any of the systems or the target. So these are the basic enumeration tools which will be covered in this session. So what is Nmap? So Nmap it is nothing but it allows you to scan your network and discovers the wide variety of information about the target, like services, ports, and lot more stuff. and it also allows the large number of scanning techniques and Hydra. So Hydra, as already displayed in the PPT, is a brute forcing tool which helps us to brute force the username and password. So WP scan, so its name defines it is a WordPress scan. So it is used for enumeration of username, so which will be only applicable for WordPress websites. So social engineering, I am aware that everyone have an hype about this social engineering toolkit because it is famous for the phishing attacks. So we'll see in the session. So finally, the Metasploit. So Metasploit is a huge for exploitation works, and it is written in the Ruby programming languages, and we'll be covering the Metasploit illumination, exploitation, everything in this for the session. So what is Osint and Google Doc? So Osint is nothing but a collection of or gathering information from an open source tools. So some tools need some subscriptions, but still there are a lot of tools which is free to use and you can get the gather the information. And the Google Docking. So docking is a search of techniques. You can filter out with the help of that docking quick techniques, which helps us to filter out the specific information which we are looking for. Finally, as I told you earlier, so Metasploit, so this is a huge and large, widely used and all over the world framework, which is used for scanning, enumeration, and the exploitation. So we'll be covering in this session. Finally, let's get into the practicals. So I have prerequisites of this session is like obviously everyone knows the quality is and I'm using a vulnerable machine here. So it's a metasploitable too. So as it is a beginner kind of session, so I'm starting from the scratch. So how to exploit the services, ports, and how to enumerate that. So what are the techniques and how to exploit to the metasploit also. So initial step, let's try to discover the network. So we know the target, right? So we know there's some target in this network. So we have to figure out on which IP it is assigned to. So let's try to figure it out. So right, okay. So so this is my IP. So I'm just trying to find the device which is connected to this network. So let's discover. So I have already typed this, so it I know it's a due to the catch, and I'm able to get the same command here. So I'm trying to discover the device which is connected to this network. So if you see the currently scanning is fields here. So the thing is I already know the one. I know the machine is 103. So I'm aware about that the machine IP is 103. So I'm not gonna scan the remaining IPs to instead of wasting time. So I'm directly gonna scan the IP of 103. So let's try to do the initial step of enumeration and map scan. So here, so nmap scanning has multiple flags here. So for example, minus SC. So what does minus SC mean? So it is a script scanning. So by default, nmap have inbuilt scanning scripts. It used to scan all the scripts which is available in the pre-built database, and it gives some display. Which displays the results as well as SV, which means like service version detection. So it finds the service or what are the services running and their version. Like you can, which helps us to based on the version. If the version is exploitable or vulnerable, so we can try to exploit for them. You know. Hmm. So what does this mean? It means like it used to scan all the ports in the IP, so the target. So it scans all the ports which is available in the current target. And A, so which means an aggressive scan, so which used to scan the OS versions and script scanning, trace route, and the version services also. Now, what let me do? We'll try to. Meanwhile, I like to open one more tab so you can feel the difference. What is the difference between this scanning and the normal Nmap scan? It takes a bit time. So these are the number of open ports in the current targets. This is the result output of the scan for using these flags here. So we can see so same as here. So but but much more like much more information has been gathered using this flag. So if you see this flag has some certain kind of what version it is and like what anonymous login is allowed here and in the SSH what kind of service is running and the version of the SSH and everything for all the ports which are the ports available here it try to gather all the information which is possible through the nmap. So first let me go for the FTP. So before into the topic of FTP, so what does FTP mean? So FTP is just an file transfer protocol which is used to transfer the files from the client to server. So it is kind of a medium where you can transfer the files from one place to another, like the remote session. Like if you want me to share the files from one end to another end, from a client to server kind of architecture. So let me show small nmap scan innovation for FTP. So this can also takes much time. So meanwhile, what we'll try to do? So we'll try to. So obviously we know there's some anonymous login here. So we don't want to first try anonymous. Let me try to enumerate first. So let me try to enumerate. So I'll just open one more tab here. So let me try to brute force using Hydra. So what does this mean? So I'm just using Hydra for brute forcing. So I'm just providing the username path and the password path and the IP and to which port I'm trying to enumerate. So what does it do? Like once I click the enter, so it try to brute force all the username and password which I given in the file, a text file. So it matches the username and password, and when it finds an exact username and password, it shows in the green, highlights in the green here. So we found there are two usernames here with the word list. So one is user and user as in login and password, and one more is MSF admin and MSF. So let's wait for until this scan completes. So it takes a bit more time. So let us try to do enumeration using Metasploit also for the same port. So finally, we'll see on the Nmap scan. So here, what I try to open the Metasploit. Finally. So what we're gonna try, like we got an information in the Nmap scan, like it has an version FTP is running and its version is VSFTPD. So we're gonna search that particular version in the Metasploit database. Search, and here we found a particular backdoor for this vulnerability. So there's some vulnerability for this VSFTPD version. So it is a backdoor, and we can take a direct, direct exploitation and direct root access with the help of this Metasploit framework. Meanwhile, let's see whether the scan is completed. No. So what is this FTP scan here? So here it has a 7 scripts. So FTP, there are 7 scripts. So we try to do all the 7 script scans here. Also, initially we have seen here there is an anonymous login for this FTP. So we will also try that. FTP and IP. Just type ANO anonymous, and there's no password is needed. So that's what for anonymous. What does mean anonymous FTP login? So it is nothing but it allows you to use without any assigned user ID or password. So anonymous login doesn't need any password here. So just click enter and you will be able to log in here. So that's it. So you will be able to log in and you can check the directories. So we don't have it is here, but once we exploit to the Metasploit, you will be able to see all the things. So let's wait for the scan complete. It takes much more time, so it's better you can quickly move into Amazon Metasploit exploitation for this FTP port. So let's go. So here I'm just using this particular exploit. So here we just need only one or host. Like if our host nothing but a remote host. So remote host nothing like our target mission. So we just have to enter our target mission IP. Once it is assigned to the particular port. Okay. So, oh, so sometimes what is there's an glitch like sometimes when you try to exploit the same payload, it will not happen the first time, initial time, and if you do the same exploit multiple 2 to 3 times, then it will execute properly. So this is what happens here also. So let me check everything. So we are into the FTP server. Let's check who we are. Who am I? So I am the root. So I gain the root access with the backdoor with this exploit. So which is easily you can exploit to the MSF console. I mean, it is a Metasploit framework, so we can able to exploit easily comparable to other manual exploitation. Great. So here we found two users here. So initially we just logged into anonymous login, which was found through Nmap scan. But here we also found two users using Hydra. So let's try to log in with that user and user. So we are into the mission. So let's try to check here. No, again this issue. Yeah, now we are able to. So we are able to see all the directories which is inside the FTP. So likewise, we can also log in through the MSO button. So this how, but to propose it, we need a word list which has of like word list username and password. It takes much more time than the scan which is done right now. So we should be a patient to until the brute force has been completed. So let's clear this. So we'll okay finally. So finally we found. So what is here? Like it's see, we found the username using Hydra, but everything is done by Nmap scan itself. So it shows like there's some user account name user, and it is vulnerable to VSF TPD and the CV number, exploitable to backdoor, everything. So literally everything which is found through Nmap scan. So that's why initially after doing the normal Nmap scans, we have to it is best to enumerate the Nmap itself. So we get much more information uh, to exploit further. So next up, what is SSH 22? So what does SSH mean? Nothing but an secure shell. It's to connect the network services securely. Like it is like an you can take any remote session from the when you're from a different location, you want to take access of your machine from. You can use this SSH to connect to your machine, the remote, which is most secure way. So let's try to enumerate it. So here we found that SSH has some open SSH 4.7.5 and some information which we got through Nmap. Let's try to enumerate much more. Same command will be used for all the brute forcing of the ports. So, and we just have to change the port here. same, we found something here, like same credential for user is been used. We are able to log in through SSH. So let's try to, try to access that. So mm, okay, user, boom. So we are into the machine. So we are successfully able to log into the machine using the the password which we gained through the brute forcing using Hydra. Let us try. Okay, looking there. So obviously we found like so we are into the machine. Let me check what user we are. Now, so we are user. So we are not into the root, but when you check in the previous, so we are able to exploit the root. So each if we have we just need to exploit, we have to do the privilege escalation. So when we do the privilege escalation, we are able to get the root access. So what is the difference between the user and the root access? User we have only limited kind of access, and in the root we have like an admin credit. It's a kind of admin role. So we can able to do everything, whatever we want, we can able to do in that root access. We can also use, enumerate the same which we done in the Hydra in the same. We can do it in the Metasploit also. So we just need to do so, so here the same scan which we done in the Hydra, we can also do it using Metasploit. And so, so we have to set the user and the password file. The user file, the same, the word list and the password file. Check once, everything's clear. Okay, good. Okay, sorry. Everything's clear. Very well, it displayed the output like like your user input. So we are into the shell. We got an shell here. So we can also try to check that. We try to brute force all the possible ways, all the username and password, like word list which we mentioned in this part, right? So we also check all the username and password, and we'll give the exact username password which we need to log in. scanning is completed here. So the thing is we found that user and user password, and one more thing is MSF admin. So these are the two credentials which we can able to log in using SSH. So next code. So to telnet. So telnet, which is similar like SSH, but here the thing is, it will not be. It is not secured as SSH. So the layers, everything will be in the clear, plain text format. It will not be secured as SSH. It's the same. So it is just a network protocol used as an accessing to remote connections. I mean remote computers. So you can do the same script, same Hydra scanning here. So I don't want to report the same one. You can use the same, but at the end, you just need to enter the, we have to change the HTTP the port and the, if it is telnet, you have to change it to telnet. If it is SSH, you have to change it to SSH. Or if it is FTP, you have to change the port and the service stuff. That's it. So you can use the same. But now we are just entering the telnet command IP. So obviously we are able to log in. So the problem here is there is some misconfiguration here. So it automatically grabs the banner of the tenant. So in the banner, like predefined, they have entered some admin credential in the banner. So due to this misconfiguration, we can also able to log in as an admin. Let's try to do the same. Login. Let me check. So we are in admin role here. So this is some kind of misconfiguration which is very rare in the this scenarios. But still, if there is no proper hardening is happening in the server, then it may happen on today's in this world. Like obviously it will be available. You can also enumerate to and check the same banners has been grabbed the today's live or after even after session. If you find any telnet and if it, shows any kind of credentials, then you can try. Obviously, you can able to log into the session. I know log into the machine and you can report it to the concerned team also. So here the thing is next port is SMTP. So what does SMTP mean? So it's nothing like an simple mail transfer protocol. So which is used for mail transferring mails from sending and receiving mails. So this kind of stuff. So it is used to move the email and across the network. So it uses the port 25. Let me try to enumerate it through the Metasploit. So we have a particular scanner. We should try to use it. We have to set the arrows. So here we found something like here it shows like Vanna graphic, SFTP, metasploitable, local domain, most fix, Ubuntu. It's normal scanning, scanning payload. So we're just able to get some piece of information about this target. Let me try much more deeper. So let's try to use this. So here by default it takes some word list which is pre-built by the Metasploit. So we take the same default word list. So what we can also give our own word list or we can use the default word list which is already present here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my word list. So here, so we got a quick response, right? Because the word is very short, so we got a quick response. If this word list has been used, then it takes much more time than this. So we got the two users here, MS of admin and the user. So we can just verify this through telnet or netcat. So let's try that. Telnet verify. Here, let's try to use your FI. So we got a correct response. So how do we know this is a correct response? Like we can check, you can try to enter any data. So you will get this kind of error. So this means like it is not in their database and it is not, this address is rejected. So unknown local recipient. So it is not in their database. So likewise, we can also get some more detail. Uh, so it displays much more information which we get. So we can also exploit furthermore based on this information. And so hopefully we have completed the first four ports. Then here, so compared to 18, so let me go for port, it's an HTTP port. You can just directly open through the browser. But it all are web applications, then it will take much more time and it's not easy to complete the session. So I'll try to skip through ports, which will be, which will be a task for you. You can try to, enumerate and you can, practice by yourself. So, but I'll just show you. So, you just have to enter the IP address. So you'll be able to get the websites here. So by default, most of the applications have this single website, but this is an vulnerable machine, so it is also multiple websites, so you can use it for practice purpose. And it's a complete different topic, which is for web application attacks and exploitations and testing. So it will be covered in later on the sessions. So as of now, I'm just moving to the next port. But the similar port, there's an AAT port which is running the host. So this host is running some server, right? So like just look at the name. So there's something fishy, right? 8180, which is something similar. So let me check in this nmap scan. So what is specified for this 8180? So here. So 8180, it says like it's an Apache, Tomcat version, and all those stuff. Let me try to access this page in the browser and see what we get. To access this particular port, so this is a different port, right? We are seeing this is a different port, 8180. So we have to enter 8180. So here, so as we seen in the result in the Nmap scan, here the same. So Tomcat 5.5 and Apache 1.1 version is displayed here. So it shows a default page. These are the default page which should be removed from the server while doing hardening, but due to the misconfiguration, this will be displayed here. So here, if you see at the left column, there's two things here: Tomcat administration, Tomcat method. Let me try to check these two pages. So it asks for I'm login. Okay, fine. We go for this first. So Tomcat web server administration tool. So here you can try to enter some default password. So you can just Google it. You just go and you can Google it Tomcat version username password. You can just Google it and you will get some default passwords here. So you can try to get this username. You can try to propose that. Like sometimes by default they will also mention the username and password. How we have seen in the telnet, so that it shares the banner grabbing of the username and password, right? So the same it happens. So let me try to enter some default password. Tomcat. We are able to log in. So it has some default credentials. So with the help of the default credentials, also we can able to log into the any admin. This is an admin portal. So you can do anything whatever you want. You can shut down this server, whatever you want. You can do all the stuffs here. So you can add the users and you can create a new role here. You can delete the roles here. So it is a huge impact for the application or the to the concerned company. So this sounds how the default credentials you can enumerate. You can just Google it and you can get the default credentials. You can try to book with it also. The same applies to this. What we do, we try to uh, try to enter the same password again. So it uses the same credential for both the portal. So here if you see, there's an upload functionality. So it's a WARP which need to be uploaded a WARP file, and you can also there's an exploit in the Metasploit for the war. So you can use that, and also you can take a remote shell through that. So you can do whatever you want. So once you enter the machine with the admin credentials, so you are the you can do whatever you want as a further exploitation to get a remote shell, a persistent shell, everything. Okay. So now let's get into the port 139 and 445. So these both are we can enumerate both the ports in the single shot. Let's try to do that. So as I already told you, like I have already entered this thing. So due to some cat stuffs, I'm able to get this information as this. So I'm just entering these details. That's it. So we have to enter the SMB, share this script which is predefined and built in the Nmap database. So we're just using that. And the port 139 port as I told you earlier. So I'm just gonna scan the both ports. And here I'm just entering the IP. I'm trying to scan this for some time. Meanwhile, you can try much other enumeration using MSF console. So here I'm searching for app script. So, so here it needs a remote host. So we are not running any local. So what we're gonna do, we are just gonna enter our our Kali's IP. That, uh, it, it's before try to do. So, yes. So if we check what user we are the root user here. So we got the remote shell access, which is an exploitable. So here, so instead of using localhost, what I have mentioned is I have mentioned my local machine, so I can get an access. Like I can get it remote shell to my machine, so I can get an for the I can use enumerate or gather the fetch details from this host machine, from the target machine. I can get the details. So I've just mentioned here my localhost IP to get the remote shell. Netcat listening the. I'm just listening from my machine. So when the any exploit is happen, no, so I'll listen. I'll get the remote shell. So it has been innovation has been done. So here we can find two things like we exploitable user one unlimited CSA, listen path, temp path which has anonymous access, read write. Same here we have this for what I see right. You can also do the same stuff. Uh, then- So you can see that temp path as a read and write access. As we already exploited this particular port and version, port 139. So we got a root access. So it's like you can check whether if any of the machines or when you do the enumeration testing or when you do for network pen testing, when you find these ports, you can try to exploit the metasploit first. If you're able to get it shell, then that's it. You can do whatever you want for the. So let me go for. Let me go for the two. These two places. MySQL post post ratio. Okay, so we try to first go with MySQL here. So MySQL is nothing but DB where all the databases use the MySQL like MSSQL. These are the DBs where we used to save our data, where all the applications used to save our data. So what we do like try to enumerate some stuff to in the target MySQL code. So what I'm trying to do, so that's already. So just opening it. Use. Okay. There are a list of things we have to make sure if you go. So blank password is by default it is true. So I don't need to any to any other things. If you try to enter no mouse, so here we see we found the scan has been done and we found something like we found the remote MySQL version 5.0.5. So you can also check this version. You can if you found any CVs or exploitation and do that. Then separate username found here. So root. So here what we have entered is the blank password is true. It means like we are not entering any blank any password. With the help of this username, we are just enter the blank password and we are able to successfully log in. So let's try to check this one. Okay. Your minus u root host IP and we are into the database. So we can check the details. So these are the databases which we can go and see, we can enumerate, we can view all the data. So we can also like we can change or edit or delete any of the data which from these databases. We can you can further enumerate anything. You can use these details to enter into any websites, and you can log in and you can change any kind of stuffs later. So same. Next, let's we go into PostgreSQL. So here, we'll try to search. So we found two payloads here. Right in the almost logos. Okay, fine. Okay. So we got a metaphor shell here. So we are able to exploit this port also with the using Metasploit. Which is an easy go. We can we can using Metasploit. If it is a manual process, you have to little bit more steps you have to follow it. It's a Metasploit. It's an easy go. You can go directly and you can search for the perfect payload, exploits, scanners, and you can get some information and you can enumerate further. Some details here, then you can get, can some commands, whatever, like, whatever tools, you can take one more session, you can import, upload a netcat, and you can take one more reverse shell. So whatever you want. So you can do once you get the say first shell, initial shell, you can do whatever you want there further. So I think so. This will be fine so far. Let me quickly go into some Ocean stuff like how to get some information, a small filtering information, which will be helpful for finding any target. So I think these are the mostly used ports widely for all the servers and applications, which will be useful for you to if you find any ports or servers open, and you can try to exploit based on this. So here we try to enter. So the commands it is already here, which I have typed earlier. So just think that I'm just entering in text. So to find any username. So why I'm using Gmail? It says some application, some web application needs a username Gmail to as a username as a login. So if you don't have no idea what is the username, then you can try to enumerate using the Google Docs and enter any specific like it is leaked in the data, Google, if it is entering anywhere in the Google, it will be actually, it will fetch the data and, it helps you to, we enumerate further. So here I have just entered the Gmail and LinkedIn. So what are the Gmails are in the posted in the LinkedIn? It will be displayed here. So what are the Gmails? So you can just go based on it. You can enumerate or you can create a fake account if whatever. Like if you want to give some Gmail account, you can use this Gmail. Whatever else. Like if you want to enumerate for particular target, you can enter the particular target domain name here, and if any of the employees have been posted any Gmail account in somewhere else, it will directly fetch those details, and it shows here. You can get the output here. The same if you enter for same you can find much more details or Gmails. So it will be helpful for enumerate further for any type of attacks. It will be helpful for you. Then so for finding particular target for admin role, admin portal. So you can use this docs file type catalog admin. It means like you're typing the file type. So may the extension will be at the PHP extensions and URL. So any URL which contains the catalog slash admin at the endpoint, so it displays. For example, this is the first we have found in the results. So we'll try to open. So we found an admin portal here. So as I told you earlier, so you can how to propose that. You can also propose it. You can capture the request, and you can also propose using the bug suit, or you can propose actually you can propose here. So using username and password, like you can get the number of word list, and you can propose here. So for time being, so I won't be able to cover the WP scan here. So I'll share you how. So we need a particular WordPress portal to find out the enumerate the WordPress username and password. So here I just share you the WP scan command, so which help you if you find any URLs or which has some WordPress, you can try to enumerate using this for a login portal. Simply some domain name enumerate. So this is the thing which you can which helps you to enumerate and get some username of WordPress login page. And one more, like you can use Google Images. You can use Google Images. For doing some voice into purpose. Like if you upload a specific photo and you want to know where he is and who he is and what all the information regarding, so you can just use a Google image which is an easy or an easy go. It gathers all the information. Hopefully everyone know Google is a large search engine. It's a huge search engine. So it gathers all the information. So even if your photo is you can try with your photos. If your photo is uploaded anywhere else in the portal, you try to gather some information about your photo, and it will be easy for you, so get some information about the particular target. So he's in the LinkedIn and LinkedIn profile and Twitter account and all the results. So you can try your photo. You can try to upload your photo and check whether how what are the informations you get from this search, Google search. I think times we are out of time. I think done. Out of time. I think. uh, I'm audible. Yeah, okay. So I believe I took a long time, I think, I know. So I try to try to complete as much as possible here. So I believe that's the end of the session.
Thank you, Vishalji, for this session. And there are a few questions I would like to ask you. These are questions from the live chat, from the
Okay.
YouTube live chat. So without any further ado, we'll move on to those questions.
Okay.
Before that, I would like to introduce a little bit about to the viewers about the community. So UpgradeMore is a community where we can, where if you have any related questions or ethical hacking questions or cybersecurity questions. We are always with you, and if you have any questions, you post them, and we have amazing instructors so that you can get your question solved. So, yeah, let's move on to the first question. The first question is asked by Mr. John. Um, how can we find other hackers using Osint?
So obviously, so as I told you earlier, so using Google Doc, you can find a particular community. So if you go to LinkedIn or go to any Twitter, if there is some specific characters, catchy characters, you can find using the catchy characters, and it will gather all the information of the particular character. For example, if you search about the upgrade more, it will come all the people who are under the upgrade more in the community. So it gather all the information. So likewise, you can do some keywords. You can do key searches. It helps to find all the ethical hackers and to get the details about them.
Right, so these will be those people who are publicly who have said
Yeah,
that.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Who have a public, they are exposed in the public, so you can get those details.
Okay, but then there are other people who are hidden, so you can't find them. Is there any other way to,
So
uh,
it all helps through networking. So if you find so even in the job you won't get any so direct referral. It's all about your networking. So we have to do some networking to catch the your elite persons to get in contact of them. So it's all about the networking. So if they are not exposed in anywhere in any social media, any blogs, anything, then that's it's nothing. It doesn't exist in the internet. Then only through the networking you will be able to catch those people. No, I mean you can have a network with connection with those peoples, allied peoples.
okay. So I had a different question. How is it like to be in the like one of the top five CTF teams in India? So how is the
Yeah,
atmosphere over there? So
I, I'm just see. Basically, I just before that I have like to tell my team name. So this is SSOD. So I'm just part of the team. So there are like nearly 10 to 15 members in that team. So there we every CTFs they used to work hard in that like to gather all the information to exploit everything. So there are many experts like there are multiple categories in CTFs, right? So like forensics, web, reverse engineering, and OSNT. There are many experienced and even the students, the college students, everyone is joining that in our team, and they are gathering gaining more knowledge in our team. So due to some work stuffs, I was not able to join. Yeah, always like whenever I'm free, I used to contribute myself to the team. So yeah, obviously they have won many CTFs and they have won the the reason because they are top five because they won many CTFs and sometimes they'll be at the second rank, third rank, and even the sometimes the first rank.
right. Okay, so there's another question. What are the best things to look for OSINT for a bug bounty program?
So the best thing is to enumerate the subdomains. So subdomain is the key thing. Even with the help of within 5 minutes, you can you can get an P1 bug. So if you enumerate the subdomains and if you find any domain which is an slash admin portal or dev portal which uses an default credentials or which shows some sensitive information exposed, or you can you can after that you can proceed further. So if it any websites which is like you feel it's vulnerable when you brute force it or find through subdomain enumeration. It's a key point within 5 to 10 minutes you can get an P1 also. Like I have many friends who do bug bounties. They have found within 5 to 10 minutes they used to find the subdomains. For example, if they need subdomains which starts with dev, API, UAT. So if these are mostly used for developing purpose. So it will be like default credential, default stuffs will be implemented in that. So it will be helpful for people who doing bug bounty, this kind of stuff.
Okay. So, for our viewers, if you want to get started into your bug bounty journey, you can connect with us over Discord. We have amazing mentors, we have amazing instructors. If you want any sort of help or if you want any sort of questions answered, so you can connect with us. Yeah, let's move on to the next question. What is the best automate OSINT tool for finding compromised passwords?
So usually you can get the compromised password. So mostly how that like every passwords will be in some database. So if any tool, I never find this. I never did use such kind of tools so far. But mostly the word list will be preferred. Like where you can check many portals which gives an a GB, GBs or TB contents of word list. So obviously, I don't think so. There's an tool which automatically gathers username, password, and do the stuff. But maybe it still exists, but I am not aware about that. So far, I haven't used everything based on the word list which I used to download and do the also stuff.
Okay. So this is the last question. How can I find compromised passwords?
There are few portals, there are few websites, Russian, there's some website like Rapid Forums. They used to pay. So they have the compromised passwords will be in that portal. They used to sell for it. So you have to buy it. and you can gather information. Sometimes recently there's an for Airtel or Domino's, the database has been exploited. So those username, passwords, and credentials, mail ID, address, everything is exposed for 1 or 2 days. It was exposed in rapid forums. So but the first 2 days it will be free, so you can dump all the details at those times. So later on it will be paid services. You have to pay some service amount to get that services. So rapid forum is the best so far I use.
So yeah, I think that will be the end of today's session. If you want to connect with Mr. Vishal Mohan, so you can connect with him over LinkedIn. You can email him. The details will also be there in the YouTube live chat as well as in the description. Please connect with him. If you have any queries, you can contact him. And yeah, so that will be the end of today's session. Thank you guys for staying this long, and it was a very good session. Thank you, Vishal sir.
Thank you, and it's my pleasure to be part of your team to contribute to this community. And thanks a lot to Tushar and Udit.
Yeah. So I think that will be end. That will be the end. So yeah. Um, learn more, guys, and upgrade more.